गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे. So we are in the last bit of chapter 9 of Jnaneshwari, and that is verse number 33. And what did Lord say in the previous verse? Even if those who are low born, women, the Vaishyas, the Shudras, take refuge in me, O Partha, they reach the highest point, meaning that even it does not matter from which strata of society you come from, as long as you are thinking of the divine, the Lord is giving you assurance that you will go to Him. So if He is giving assurance to those who are outcast, those who are unintelligent, those who are not able to control their mind, those who are irrational, those who are addicted to materialism, and yet they somehow find in themselves to focus on the Lord says, I will deliver them. What to talk of the wise people then? So here in the 33rd verse, here he says, but we don't have the verse. No, I don't have.
Kim punarsamha punya sakta rajarshayastata anityam sukham nokam imam prapya bhajasvamam.
How much more so then holy Brahmins and devout royal sages, having come to this impermanent joyless world, worship me. So here it is told, how much more so then holy Brahmins, if everyone else other than Brahmins finds in themselves to remember the divine, how much more the Brahmins will be. Who are Brahmins? Brahmins is not those who are born in a Brahmin kul. They are not the people who are born of the Brahmin caste. They are not, because my father was Brahmin, therefore I am Brahmin. There are certain qualities given of Brahmin. What are they? Huh? Or the one who is walking the path also. The one whose life is dedicated to know the truth and live the truth. His whole life is dedicated in pursuit of the truth. And in that pursuit, he has got no time for earning a living. He has got no time for any other activity that is the norm for us. He is a Brahmin. He is a person who does not accumulate anything. He is a person who studies scriptures every day. He is a person who inculcates self-discipline on a daily basis. He lives a self-disciplined life. He lives with minimum but giving maximum. Such is a Brahmin. And where is our definition, understanding of our being Brahmin?
Where are such Brahmins?
There are. You will be surprised. But again, there are very few of those. Among billions of people, you will find only a handful of them. So, same way. So here Jnaneshwar Maharaj says, मग वर्णा माझी छत्र चामर स्वर्ग जयाचे अग्रहार मंत्रविद्येसी माहेर ब्राह्मण जे पृथ्वी तळीचे देव जे तपोवतार सावयव सकळ तीर्थासी दैव उदयले जेथ अखंड वसिजे यागी जे वेदांची वज्रांगी जयाचिये दिठीचिया उत्संगी मंगळ बाडे जयाचिये आस्थेचे नि बोले सत्कर्म पाल्हाळी गेले संकल्पे सत्य जियाले जयाचे गा बोले अग्निसी आयुष्य जाहले म्हणूनी समुद्रे पाणी आपुले दिधले यांची प्रीती मिया लक्ष्मी डावलोनी केली परवती फेडोनी कौस्तुभ घेतला हाती मग बोढविली वक्षस्थळाची वाखती चरण रजा. So here he says that much more so will the Brahmins attain to that divine abode, for they bear royal insignia among the castes, have received divine gifts, and are fountains of sacred lore. They are divine beings on the earth, the very embodiment of austerities, tapasya. And because of them, the sacred waters have attained their glory. In them, the sacrifices have their eternal home, and the Vedas form their strong armors, and auspiciousness is nourished in their loving glance. Virtuous actions are fostered by the moisture of their faith, and truth survives because of their firm resolve. By Vedic mantras, the fire enjoys long life, and in order to gain their affection, the sea provided a haven for it. I parted company with goddess Lakshmi to gain the dust of their feet, took off my Kaustuba gem from my breast, and laid it bare before a worthy Brahmin, Bhrigu Rishi, to receive his footprints on my chest. So the Lord is saying that how much value he is giving to those who are Brahmanas. Brahmanas are not Brahmins. Brahmanas are those people, meaning not Brahmins like we understand. They are those people who only spread auspiciousness in life. Whenever there is a light switch going on, darkness cannot remain, isn't it? Whatever the wattage of bulb may be. Similarly, wherever a realized master, wherever a Brahmin, or wherever a seeker of truth, what are his qualities? Living as Shama, Dama, Uparama, Titiksha, Vivek, Vairagya, Shatka Sampatti, Mumukshutva, all this, the fire is raging. Why fire is raging? He has come to recognize. So either he is on his journey or he has realized. Such a person cannot be but a source of inspiration and auspiciousness and blessings in life of everyone. Cannot be anything else. That's why when we go to Mahatmas, we feel good. That's why we seek their companies. That's why we go to temples. Why? There such Mahatmas have come. If a temple has not been visited by Mahatmas, that temple has got no meaning. It will not have the vibration. Just by chanting mantras, okay. You know, a priest can also be a Mahatma. Don't forget that. A common man can also be a Mahatma. Then he is a Brahmana. But today's society does not accept that. Probably it is breaking up slowly, the whole system. A rejuvenation is being brought about. So in this way, the greatness of a person who is a seeker of truth, who is living a self-disciplined life, or who is established in truth, his glory is being sung by the Lord himself. Because that he gives one example, the Bhrigu Rishi. Bhrigu Rishi, he comes and he has done, Lord has done something and he comes I can't remember the story. He comes and the Lord immediately takes off the mala and the necklace, so that the Lord can come and he hits him with his feet on his chest. He is ready to take that from a great master. Continuing, आजुनी पाऊलाची मुद्रा मी हृदयी वाहे गा सुभद्रा जे आपुलिया दैव समुद्रा जतने लागी जयाचा कोप सभटा काळाग्नी रुद्राचा वसवटा जयाचा प्रसादी फुकटा जोडती सिद्धी ऐसे पुण्य पूज्य जे ब्राह्मण आणि माझ्या ठाई अति निपुण आता माते पावती हे कवण समर्थावे आहे पाचंदनाचे नि अंगा निळे शिवतिले निंब होते जे जवळे तीही निर्जेबीही देवांची निळळे भैसणी केली मग तो चंदनु तेथ न पवे ऐसे मनी कैसे निधारवे अथवा पातला हे समर्थावे तेव्हा काही साच. He says, the Lord is saying, ever since, O Arjuna, I have preserved and borne that footprint on my chest, which I received through my good fortune, the wrath of the Brahmins, O great warrior, is verily the home of the destructive deities of death, fire and Rudra, and from their benediction flow the 8 miraculous powers. Then do I need to tell you that such holy Brahmins who are passionately devoted to me attain to me in course of time? For you know not that even the neem trees which are wafted by the breeze flowing from the nearby sandalwood trees become fragrant and adorn the foreheads of the deities. How then can you feel a doubt that the sandalwood tree would not do so? Do I have to tell you this? Do I have to tell this to you in so many words to convince you? God Shiva ever bears on his forehead the crescent moon in the hope that it would cool him down. How then should the sandalwood, which is perfectly soothing and fragrant, not be considered worthy of covering his whole body? When the street waters joining the Ganges reach the sea, how can the river have a different destination? So, we all, where has the water for the rivers and the street waters, where has it come from? It has come from ocean only. And where is its destination? Back to the ocean only. So where have we come from? From him only. Where is our destination? To him only. Is there any doubt about it? No. So he is telling Arjuna, how many different ways should I tell you? See, we make one mistake. What is that mistake? We say, God is present within us, isn't it? He is expressing through us as consciousness. He is in our hearts. It is a wrong statement. God is not within us. We are in God. We are in God. Hey, smile de yaar. Huh? Because everything is divine. You cannot say waters are expressing through a wave. No, the wave is in the water. Wave is nothing but water. Wave cannot make that statement. Ornament cannot make the statement, gold is in me. Foolish. In the gold, the ornaments are imagined also. That also is imagined. But if from our point of view, if from individual point of view, if you want to look at it, in the gold, all the ornaments are. But what do we say? From the gold, ornaments have come. But are those ornaments other than gold? No. So language is problem. Similarly is our case. We have not come from the Lord. We are in the Lord. We are in the Lord. Lord is not in our heart. We, whole body, breath, mind, intellect, whatever we can imagine ourselves to be, we are in the Lord. When your attention is on Him, that He is pervading you, not only in your heart and mind, but every aspect of your personality, every thought, every emotion, every breath, every cell. It cannot, that cell cannot exist other than the divine. Because otherwise there will be two, divine and the cell and the body. It cannot be so. The whole thinking will change. Isn't it? Pranav? Yes. We are talking about you only. Next chapter is all about you, Pranava, the Vibhuti of the Lord. Understand? You understand? Yes. जेथ निव बील एशिया आशा हरे चंद्रमा आशा आघा ऐसा वाही जत असे शिरसा निरंतर तेथ निवविता आणि सगळा परिमळे चंद्राहून आगळा तो चंदनु केवी अवलीळा सर्वांगी न वैसे कारथ्योदके जिये चिये कासे लागलिया समुद्र जाली अनायासे लिए गंगेसी काय अनारिसे गत्यंतर असे म्हणवनी राजर्षी का ब्राह्मण जया गती मती मीची शरण्य तया त्रिशुद्धी मीची निर्वाण स्थिती ही मीची या लागी शतजर्जर नावे रिगोनी केवी निश्चिंत व्हावे कैसेनी उघडिया असावे शस्त्रवर्षी. He says, this is what I just now read. Then he says, therefore, if a devotee, be he a royal sage or a Brahmin, if he takes refuge in me, I grant him liberation and become his support. How can one remain carefree if he boards a boat with 100 leaks or face a volley of missiles with a bare body? How can he? What is our boat of 100 leaks? Think.
The body. Body.
Okay, body, it has got 10 holes, energy is leaking out of them. You say, mind, how?
That is where it generates all the...
Energy is there, potential is there, but where is that potential being utilized or leaking away? Into the world, into the relationships, into the possessions, into survival, into security, into health, into maintenance, into whatever. So many different, these are the different hundreds of leak holes in the boat of life. When you control your senses, you control your mind. How do you control your mind? You apply your mind, make the mind remember the divine theme. Automatically, all the leakage automatically stops. Life still goes on. Boat of life will continue going on. But what happens? The stress, the strain, all that goes away, and infinite inspiration comes into your life. Inspiration does not come because of our thinking. Inspiration does not come because I have done pranayam. It will come for some time, but it will go away also. You can push yourself, I am happy, and do it. You will be happy for some time. After that, you will become sad so deeply that again you have to more energy to be happy. Then where does the true inspiration come from? It comes from the divine. You can get inspired by a business idea, you can get inspired by maintenance of that my children are growing up so nicely, you can get inspired by being a mother. But it's all temporary. It's all this is temporary perception. Inspiration. You'll feel good. You cannot, the amount of energy that you are putting behind this child now, you will not be able to put after he grows up. You cannot, because you are getting old. You cannot. You have the second one, you will not have the same energy. Sorry, don't talk about second one now. See? So where does the true inspiration come from? It comes from the divine. When we take only His refuge, when we take only His, we surrender ourselves at His feet. And in this way, where are we? Verse number 490. Where is 490? अंगावरी पडता पाषाण न सुवावे केवी बोढण रोगे दाटला आणि उदासपण भोख देसी जेत चहू कडे चळत बळवा तेथुनी न निगिजे केवी पांडवा तेवी लोका येऊनिया सोपद्रवा केवी न भजिजे माते अगा माते न भजावया लागी कवण वळवा आपुलिया आंगी काई घरी की भोगी निश्चिंती केली ना तरी विद्या की वयसा यया प्राणी आसी हा ऐसा मज न भजता भरम वसा सुखाचा कोण तरी भोग्य जात जे तुले ते एका देहाचिया निकिया लागले आणि एथ देह तंब असे पडिले काळाची तोडी. He says, should not one shield oneself from stones hurled at him? How can one suffering from an ailment be indifferent to treatment? How can one not escape, O son of Pandu, from a conflagration threatening him from all sides? So how can a person fail to worship me after coming to this world full of troubles? With what strength can he hope to live without devotion to me? And how can he feel secure in the enjoyment of worldly pleasures? Without devotion to me, how can a being count upon youth and worldly wisdom to yield the full measure of happiness? All the sensuous pleasures are for the sake of the body, but that body itself is wasting away into the jaws of death. See? With so much pain the child is born. Means we are born. And whole life is only about struggles. Whole life. If there is no struggle, there is no life. The body is growing, teenage is coming, youth is coming, marriage is coming, children are being born, responsibilities. Sometimes the hairstyle is not right, sometimes the hair, you want hairstyle but the hair is not there. Sometimes diseases, pains, mental troubles, jealousy, anger, greed, etc. It continuously there is a bombardment. So the Lord is saying, if this is what is that you are observing, do market research. You don't have to do anything else. You don't have to live your life and whole life and then see, acha, no, I think, you will find. Intelligent person is he who, instead of experiencing, wanting to go through all the experiences, learn from other people's experiences. Observe, be a keen observer. And what is the observation? This was the observation, that life is full of struggles, obstacles, challenges, whether you like it or not. And if you take the position of individuality, you will counter them, you will try to solve them, you will try to find a solution for them. But if you are trying to find a solution, you solve 100 more are waiting in queue. Then what are you, once you have taken birth, what are you seeking in life? A permanent solution. You are not seeking temporary solutions, you are seeking a permanent solution. To be happy under all sets of circumstances that the life is throwing at us. And the Lord is saying that permanent solution is only possible if you take refuge in me. See, beautiful. Only if you take refuge in me. If this clicks in our life is made. Our life is made. बाप दुखाचे केणे सुटले जेथ मरणाचे भरे लोटले तिये मृत्यू लोकीचिये शेवटिले येणे जाहले हाट वेळे आता सुखेसी जीविता कैची ग्राहिकी की जेल पंडुसुता काय रांखोडी फुंकिता दीपू लागे आगाविषाचे कांदे वाटुनी जोरसू घेईजे पिळुनी तया नाम अमृत ठेवुनी जैसे अमर होणे तेवी विषयांचे जे सुख ते केवळ परम दुःख परी काय की जे मूर्ख न सेविता न सरे काशीस खांडूनी आपुले पायीच्या खाती बांधिले तैसे मृत्यू लोकीचे भले आहे आघवे. He says, after unloading goods in the form of miseries and experiencing a number of deaths, one has arrived in this market of the mortal world. Huh? So what are meaning? In other words, he is bringing our attention to the various yonis that we must, various forms of species that we must have gone through, or even in a human birth, we must have been born ignorant, maybe no intelligence there to think about the divine, etc. And unknowingly, out of ignorance, we have done such karmas that kept us we kept taking birth in the lower forms. But somehow, by the grace, something we must have done, grace has flowed and we have taken birth in the human plane. Don't let it go to waste. Don't let it go to waste. So he says that we have arrived in the market of the mortal world. How can you purchase happiness in this transient life? How can you purchase happiness? And what is man doing all the time? I just purchased. I didn't purchase iPhone. I was presented happiness. See? Sofa, nice bed, nice house, nice clothes, nice food. It doesn't end. If you go into now sofa, which sofa? This company or that company? If you go in food, Chinese or Indian? If you go into just a movie, which movie? Indian or English? Everywhere choices, and we get lost in it, isn't it? What are we doing by interacting with the world? We are seeking happiness by interacting with the world. But where is happiness? In our heart. Our nature is that of happiness. Therefore, Gurudev said the most miserable search is the search for happiness. See? Every Mahatma comes to the same conclusion. But for that, we have to stop searching for happiness through something or through someone. If that person behaves and speaks nicely to me, then I will respect that person. Okay? You respect that person in spite of who that person is. Then it is your greatness. One child was there in Bombay. He was asking for money, and nobody was giving. And eventually some coins came, and next to him one old lady was there. And the old lady, because she couldn't even move to ask for begging, lift the begging bowl. So she was just lying there, but she was very hungry. And eventually when that money came to that child, who was 2, 3, 5 rupees, he took that money. Someone was watching, that's why we know. Someone was watching. What did that child do? He did not take the money to fill his own stomach. He used that money, got some bada pav and gave it to the old lady. Even if you don't have anything, you can be good. We have everything and still we are not being good. See? This is the difference between a hypocritical spiritual life and a real spiritual life. Hypocritical, in spite of everything, we don't practice the values that are given, that we should practice naturally, which are present. And in spiritual life, even if you have nothing, you are, because it is the divine world, It is because the world is an expression, is nothing but the divine himself itself. Therefore, I must sacrifice. This sacrifice does not come because God is in me. When you see that God is the support of everything, then this feeling of sacrifice will come. Otherwise, God is in me, sit in meditation, who cares about the world? But when this next shift takes place, okay, till where did we do? I have forgotten. Where were we?
500.
500.
Only
No. After unloading, okay. How can you purchase happiness in this transient life? Can one kindle a light by blowing up ashes? Some people argue, yes, we can. I'll blow when it is. There might be one charcoal there. As well can a person hope to become immortal if he crushes poisonous roots and drinks the juice, calling it nectar. Sensuous pleasure is therefore nothing but pain, but somehow man, fool that he is never fed up with it. What is that? Indulgence. Indulgence in every sort of indulgence. Bodily indulgence, food and drinks indulgence, emotional indulgence, and intellectual indulgence also. When you want to just study scripture, I want to know this, I want to question that, I want to question this, you are going the wrong way. The purpose is not to question life. The purpose of our existence is to know the Lord, to merge into the Lord, not to question the Lord. By knowing I will come to know. No. He can only reveal you who He is. No amount of your thinking can ever make you come to know Him. Impossible. See? But this, it's not, it can be said by many times. In Gita it is said many times. But we have to take a time out and assess, where are we going wrong in our life? What am I obsessed about? Where is my interaction with my mind, intellect, memory, etc.? Where is it going wrong? Why is it not bringing the solution, the permanent solution that I am seeking? Why am I not happy in spite of everything? Why can't I be happy when even if I am crying, next moment I can laugh? Isn't it? Isn't it? But we cannot behave that way. Because we have put all our eggs in the basket of the world. That we will get nourishment only from the world. But who is the true nourisher? The Lord. ये गलती करते हैं ना. See, you are answering. I am speaking. And yet we will behave differently afterwards. The moment we go out of the satsang, we start behaving differently. We know the only one who can nourish us is the Lord. The only thing in this creation is the Lord. We know that. Yet we forget Him. That is why we are named Pranava. Continuing, where are we? कहाँ पे थे हम?
500 के बाद म्हणून मृत्यू लोकी सुखाचे 500 के बाद.
Let me get where. म्हणून मृत्यू लोकी सुखाची कहाणी एकी झेल कवणाची ये श्रवणी कैची सुखनिद्रा अंथरुणी इंगळाच्या जिये लोकीचा चंद्र क्षयरोगी जेथ उदयो होय असता लागी दुःख लेवनी सुखाची आंगी सळित जगाते जेथे मंगळाची अंकुरी सेवेची अमंगळाची पडे पोहरी मृत्यू उदाराची पळीवरी गर्भूम गिवसी जे नाही तया ते चिंतवी तव तेची नै जे गंधर्वी गेलियाची कवणे गावी शुद्धी न लगे अगाग्यवसिता आधविया वाटी परतले पाऊलची नाही किरीटी सैंध निमालियांची गोटी तिये पुराणे जेथीची. There he says, where can one hear the tale of happiness in this mortal world? How can one expect to enjoy sound sleep on a bed of embers? In this world, the moon wanes and the sun rises only to set. The misery torments the world in the guise of happiness. Rot overtakes an auspicious thing even before it starts, and death stalks the womb to seize the fetus. The moment the child is born, where is his journey going to conclude? Only in death. Isn't it? Health has come, you have taken one Panadol, it has gone, then you are waiting for what? For the next headache. While man is brooding over trifles, he is suddenly snatched away by death and taken to an unknown place. No one has seen the return of footprints of those who had departed. The Puranas are full of only stories of the dead. One cannot do justice to the impermanence of this world, even if one were to talk about it till the end of Brahma's life. One is surprised to see the carefree manner in which persons who are born in this world live. They do not spend even a pice for things which will bring them benefit in this or the other world, but they will spend millions of rupees on harmful things. They think a person is happy when he is absorbed in sensuous enjoyments, and a person wise who is oppressed by the burden of desires. See? A person, who will you support in life? Think. There are two children in your house. One child is naturally bent towards meditation and yoga and or to know the truth. He is not even interested in the school. And another child, he is interested, he is good at studies, he is good in sports, he is good in speaking. Oh, I am talking about you only, man. Both the qualities are there in you. Yes, yo man. Whom would you support? Because we are so addicted to the world, so we will think, that other child, the first child, it has lost the plot. The second child, we must support this. He's got a natural acumen to become successful in life. We'll support that fellow, second one. Nobody will support the first one. Why? These statements come out of our mouth. What? Bhagwan ka naam leke kisi Bhagwan khana khana God will give you the food or what? He is. He will bring you the money. Who will maintain you? Who will take care of your whole life? See? This is what Prahlad's life was from beginning only taking refuge in Om Vaishnave Namaha or Om Namo Narayana, one of the mantras it was. Only in the Lord. And Lord protected him. Till today we remember him. See? And what has happened to those people who have 10 PhDs, who have been scientists from so many years, so many scientists have come. Whom do you remember? They have been replaced because theories keep changing, scientific research keeps changing. Who do you remember? They have gone. But whom do we remember? The Mahatmas who have realized the truth. Mahatma Gandhi we remember. Raman Maharishi we remember. Sai Baba we remember. Prahlad we remember. Jesus we remember. Isn't it? Why? They did not achieve in this world, or they did, but they never forgot who they were. They realized themselves. Janak Maharaj is living in the kingdom, running the kingdom, but he is a realized master, Sita's father. Till today their names are being taken. Even so, thousands of years have gone by. They respect and bow before an elderly person even when his working life is finished and his strength and intellect have waned, but they will not bow in front of the divine. Pitru Devo Bhava, Matru Devo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava. But Bhagavan, when the Lord comes, God, bowing in front of the God does not mean just giving your attendance at a temple. Bowing in front of the Lord means allowing your mind to be absorbed into the Lord on a daily basis. That is bowing. Like you allow your mind to be absorbed into sleep every night, you surrender yourself to sleep, isn't it? Same way, do we bow down, do we surrender ourselves at the feet of the divine so that, and let go? We cannot let go. We use this word let go. You cannot let go. But is your intensity of purpose to merge into the divine, is it so intense that you lose yourself, at least for a moment? Because if you have tasted that, then you will not pursue the world. You will function in the world dynamically, but you will not pursue the world. You will not seek the world for your satisfaction. You will function in the world dynamically, doing what is required to be done, without forgetting the divine. That is the trick. That is the knack. So here he says, जे तिचिये अनित्यचे थोरी करितया ब्रह्मयाचे आयुष्य वेरी कैसे नाही होणे अवधारी निपटूनिया ऐसी लोकी चीजिये नांदणूक तेव जन्मले आई अथिजे लोक तयाचिये निश्चिंतीचे कौतुक दिसत असे पै दृष्टाचिये जोडी लागी भाई वल न सुटे कवडी जेत सर्वस्वे हानी तेत कोडी वेचितागा जो बहुवे विषय विलासे गुफे तो म्हणती उवाई पडिला सापे जो अभिलाष भारे दडपे तया ते सज्ञान फण म्हणती याचे आयुष्य धाकुटे होय बळ प्रज्ञा जिरवणी जाय तयाचे नमस्कारीती पाय वडील म्हणूनी जव जव बाळ बाळिया वाढे तव तव भाऊजे नाचती कोढे आयुष्य निमाले आंतुलिये कडे ते ग्लानीची नाही जन्मलिया दिवस दिवसे हो लागे काळाचेची ऐसे की वाढती करीती उल्हासे उभविती गुडिया अगामर हा बोलू न साहती आणि मेलिया तरी रडती परी असते जात न गणिती गही सपणे दूर दूर सापे गिळजुतू आहे उभा की तो मासिया वेटाली जिभा तैसे प्राणिये कवना लोभा वाढविती तृष्णा आहा कटकटा हे वोखटे इये मृत्युलोकीचे उफाराटे एत अर्जुना जरी अवचटे जन्मलासी तू. So here he says, as a child grows, they fondle it with great joy and do not grieve that its life is getting reduced. See, this is like in our Bhaj Govindam. Huh? There also this thought comes that our journey is only from birth to death. We are so happy because a child is born, but actually every birthday that we celebrate of a child is his life is getting reduced, and we are celebrating that he is growing. How foolish can we be? Because we don't know when the death is going to come. We don't know. But we all live in this imaginary idea in our head that we are going to live forever, that it is not going to happen to us. Or if it happens, it will happen at 70, 80, 90. For all you know, it could end right at this moment, tomorrow, day after tomorrow. So prepare. And what is the preparation? Take refuge in the divine. A child comes under the sway of death from its very birth, but they celebrate its birthday with great pomp. O Partha, people cannot bear to hear the name of death and mourn when a relation dies, but they do not foolishly consider how their life is getting spent. When the serpent is swallowing the frog, the latter is catching flies with its tongues. Frog is looking this way, he is eating his food, which is the fly. But the snake is coming from behind and about to devour it. Same thing is us. We look at the life which is in front of us. What is, oh, the child is growing, we are growing, business, properties, now I'm going to retire and I'm going to go for pilgrimages, blah, 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 blah. Looking forward. But the death is pursuing us. When it will take over, we don't know. The same way beings increase their desires. Alas, how foul and perverse are the things of this mortal world, O Partha. Even though you are born in this world by mere accident, spurn it and take to the path of devotion, by which you will come to my eternal abode. So why you are born? Why is he saying you are born by a mere accident? The Jiva is only an. Why has a wave come on the ocean? Is there any science behind it? Is there any science behind it? That which part of the waters of the ocean is going to become the wave? Is there any science behind it? But we say, based upon our karmas, this life is there. It is only a theory. So sometimes when they are speaking masters like this, they suddenly pop the truth. You accept. If you catch it, good. If you don't, no worries. And in this way, तरी झड़झड़ो नी वहिला निघ इये भक्ति चिये वाटे लाग जिया पावसी अव्यंग निरधाम मासे. So, if a person takes to my path of devotion, we saw in this chapter, patram pushpam phalam toyam. Merely by that, ananyas chintayanto mam, thinking about me to the exclusion of everything else. The Lord says, I take care. He gives the assurance. You read the 34th verse. I don't have the book. 34th verse.
Okay. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mamai vaishyasi yuktatvai avatmanam matparayanaha.
You have any Bhagavad Gita book?
That one has it.
इसमें वर्स नहीं है.
असायला पाहिजे वस्तू.
ये ऊपर वर्स है.
ओहो ओके. अरे पहले बताना था.
मनमना मत
Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishyasi yuktvaiva atmanam matparayanaha. Here he says, fix your mind on me, be devoted to me, sacrifice to me, and prostrate yourself before me. You shall surely come to me by practicing yoga with me as your supreme goal. When they listen to these type of verses, some fools are there. Some intelligent fools are there. Very, very successful people I have come across. They say, oh, I think Krishna is on a very big ego trip. Krishna is on a very big ego trip, they say. Because they have not understood who Krishna is. It sounds that way. If a Mahatma comes, if Akkalkot Maharaj comes in front of you, or Shirdi Baba comes and says, you fix your mind on me, you contemplate on me, you surrender at my feet. You say, kahan se aaya bhai? Who do you think you are? You look like me. You also are born. You will also your body will also one day go. You are a breathing fellow. You eat food. You go and defecate. You feel thirsty. You see, hear, touch, feel, taste. You speak. You breathe. You feel the pain. And you are telling me that fix your mind on me. You are telling me that you meditate upon me. You are telling me that you take refuge in me. Please go and knock on some other's door, not on this door. I am not foolish, I am intelligent. I am intelligent. But this is the story of every realized master born on this earth. Every realized master. Here we are not talking about a realized master, we are talking about the divinity itself, who has taken as if the form of a human semblance. See? So how do you know? How do you know that this is the right, if this is a master or not a master? You cannot judge by looking at a person's face. You cannot judge by looking at the person's background. You cannot judge a person to be a great or not great by looking at his clothes or looking at his speech, by looking at his behavior. No, these are all wrong, measures?
Notions.
No. These are all wrong
Perception.
parameters. These are all wrong parameters by which we unintelligent, foolish, stupid individuals want to give a status of greatness to another person. A realized person is realized in himself. He doesn't need your validation. Agree? He doesn't need our validation. Then, if that is the case, then how do you know that you are in the presence or you are thinking of the right teacher? You can never come to know. Then what else can you do in life? That the right teacher comes into your life. Because there are many people who speak very beautiful, who do miracles and show it to you, who are ready to do so much for you in your life. They'll try to solve your problems of your family life. They do. Then we get stuck with them. They are doing it out of their goodness. But we don't want goodness. We don't want compassion. We don't want pity. We want realization. Isn't it? We want the Lord and nothing less will do. Then how do you come to that Lord? How do you bring a God man into your life? Do you go and search for a God man because you have got certain parameters in your head? That this is a God man, or that is a God man, or that is a God man? Then how do you come to know? Tell me. Open discussion.
If you are blessed, it will come automatically to you.
Okay, if you are blessed, it will come automatically. So till then you will indulge in life.
You don't need to wait for that such person to come. Like, if you know the principle, then
Absolutely. If you know, if you know, then you will not indulge in life. Are we content at this moment? Completely, 100%?
we are on a path.
We are on the path. But till we are on the path, we are not there yet. Even though we are. Isn't it? No, but we see. Anyone else? Before we go ahead. What you say is correct. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
You have to have a firm, what you call, इच्छा होनी चाहिए, दृढ़ इच्छा।
दृढ़ इच्छा होनी चाहिए। किस चीज की?
आएगा, मेरा गुरु मेरे मुझे मिलेगा।
But if your desire is to have a guru in the form of a human being in your life, then that is what, if your mindset is like that, you will get like that only.
So
But guru is not just a human being. Guru is a
तत्व।
principle, yes. Guru is your essence. So as Suhasji said, that as long as you have deep faith, as long as, when will His grace come into our life? How can He say without, at a drop of a hat He said, when His grace flows? Why can He say that? Because He knows His grace is flow in my life. He has got no doubt about it. That is the faith that we are looking for. It is not just conviction, intellectual conviction. It's also a feeling in your heart that He will take care of me. He will merge me into Himself. See? So, how do we attract if you want to talk from people point of view or guru as a person point of view, how do you attract the right teacher into your life? By thinking about the Lord in your heart. Not about a person, about the Lord in your heart. Because a physical guru is the Lord Himself appearing as a person to teach Himself. That's His Leela. So you think of the Lord and be available to the learning from wherever it is coming from. Eventually what will happen? You will not be guru fixated. Every experience, every thought, every contact, every event of life will become a teacher. Of what? To make you remind of the divinity that is ever present. The Lord that is ever present. The grace that is ever present in your life. That is what is required. Then whether it comes through scriptures, or it comes through a discussion, or it comes through watching the leaf fluttering in the breeze, or it comes by watching the waves coming and going on the ocean, or it comes by seeing some accident happen on the road, or it comes from a child being born in your life, coming into your family. Everything becomes an event, an excuse to come back to see the play of the divine, to see the divine itself. So we have to. So how do we attract the guru into our life, who is already present? By thinking about the Lord. Lord is the ultimate guru. And who is the physical guru? Who reminds you, who makes you see that Lord is the ultimate goal. He brings your mind close so that you are able to surrender. He presents, this will come somewhere in the next verse or next chapter.
Catalyst.
So he's a catalyst, exactly, he's a catalyst. Man mana bhava. Man mana bhava means the one who has placed his mind in the divine. How do you know that you have placed your mind in the divine? How do you know you have placed your mind in the sleep? How do you know you have placed your mind in the sleep? When you are just at the last seconds, you know the sleep is taking over and you are still, you don't want to hold on to the world anymore. You want to be sucked into. You want to forget everything that you know about yourself and the world. Isn't it? That is placing your mind in the sleep. Similarly, place your mind in the Lord. Place your mind in the consciousness, place your mind in the divine, and get sucked. Let the mind be sucked away into the divine. See? Does next morning mind come back up again after sleep? Yes. Once it gets sucked into the divine, example samadhi or in meditation, will it come out? It will come out. But what comes out is not what went in. What went in, what got sucked is not what is coming out. It is a reformed mind. You think that I will sleep today and I will wake up tomorrow. But actually speaking, you have changed. 12 hours is a long, 8 hours is a long time. You are no longer the same person. The person who went to sleep is not the person who is waking up. But we believe it so. Exactly the same way. The one who allows himself to be devoured, to be absorbed into the divinity, when he comes out, when that mind again expresses, it is a divinized mind. Then that divinized mind's vision of the world is totally different. Man mana bhava. So, fix your mind on me by just merely fixing the mind and not having the love for the Lord is not enough. You must fix the mind on the Lord and must have love and devotion and faith for whom you are fixing your mind upon. That is also. So, Mad Bhakta, what was that? Mad Bhakto Bhava, Madhyaji Bhava. Do all the karmas for the Lord. Offer sacrifice, do all the sacrifice, meaning do all your actions as a sacrifice to me. So this speech that is taking place, it's an action. Let it be an offering to the divine. The thoughts are coming, let the thoughts be an offering to the divine. Physical actions are taking place, let them be an offering to the divine. You are eating food, that is also action. Why do we say Brahmarpanam Brahmayo or Sahana Bhavatu? So that food is divinized. Everything is being offered to the divine. So, Madhyaji Bhava. So first was fix your mind on me, then add a sprinkling of devotion and faith and love to the one whom you have fixed your mind upon or placed your mind in. You cannot stop working. So inside this is the condition. Outside you are doing the karma, offer them to the divine. And then what is the next one? Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru, and surrender to me. And prostrate yourself before me or surrender to me. Continuing. Ma me vaishyasi yuktayva matmanam matparayanaha. You shall surely come to me by practicing yoga with me as your supreme goal. So as long as we practice yoga, yoga means what?
Purity of mind. Purity of mind.
Okay, that is talking from this side.
Merging.
Merging. uniting with the truth, uniting with the divine is yoga. Yuj is the rope which joins us to the divinity. That is yoga. So yoga is not asanas, pranayama, etc., etc. Yoga is when we are connected to the divine to such an extent. Now, for example, right now you are connected to pranava. Morning, evening, afternoon, day, before going to sleep, waking up, only thought is, how is pranava? How is he? How is he? He's talking now. He's more expression. Everything is pranav, isn't it? Few years ago, it was all about Australia, because you came from New Zealand to Australia, isn't it? So everything was new. Australia. You wanted to know everything about Australia. Now where has that attention, so much intoxication of Australia, where has it gone? It's turned to pranava. Now once he will grow up, then if second one comes, then pranava will be put on the side, then the next one. See? This is what we do. Put it on the Lord. You should surely, so yoga is union. As long as your theme of contemplation is something in this world, you are not doing yoga, you are doing bhoga. As long as your attention, you're fixing or your mind on something or someone in this world, you are not doing yoga, you are doing bhoga. Then when does yoga begin? When you are fixing your mind on the divine theme, then it is yoga. Tu manahe, how much is left? Okay, little bit. Tu manahe michi kari, माझिया भजनी प्रेम धरी, सर्वत्र नमस्करी, मज एकांते, माझेनी अनुसंधाने देख, संकल्पू जाळणे निशेख, मद्याजी चोख, याची नाव, ऐसा मिया अथिला होसी, तेथ माझी याची स्वरूपा पावसी, हे अंतकरणीचे तुझपासी, बोली जत असे, आगा अवधिया चोरिया आपुले, जे सर्वस्व आम्ही असे ठेविले, ते पावोनी सुख संचले, होनी ठासी. He says, Sanjay said, in this way, Lord Krishna of light complexion, who fulfills the desire of his devotees like the wish-yielding tree, instructed Arjuna, listen all of you. But the old king remained as quiet as the buffalo who remains seated in the river even when it is in floods. Then Sanjaya nodded his head, said to himself, we are having a shower of nectar here, but this old king is sitting as if he is in a different town, but he is the provider of food to us, and so I do not wish to pollute my speech by talking ill of him. But what can I do? He is made that way. But how lucky I am that the great sage Vyasa entrusted this work to me. So because Sanjaya, Maharishi Vedvyas, he came just before the Mahabharata war, he came and told Dhritarashtra, because of your attachment to your son, because of your attachment to wanting to be the king, the decisions that you have made in your life have brought about this situation today, which is the Mahabharata war. Would you like to see you think that your sons are powerful, that they are 7 million strong, their army, and 11 million, and the other Pandavas' army is 7 million, and you want to see how your son, what happens on the battlefield? The Dhritarashtra, the blind king, says, no, I don't want to see the war. Whatever happens, I will accept. Because he was afraid, because inside in his heart, he knew he had done wrong. The guilty conscience pricks the mind. So that fear was there in him. So he says, no, I don't want to see the destruction. But Sanjaya, if he had taken it, if Dhritarashtra had taken the blessings, he would have heard this speech of Krishna and Arjuna and he would have been reformed. He would have been reformed. He would have become a devotee of the Lord. He could have been even merged into the Lord. But no, he didn't. Then Sanjaya, his charioteer, Vedvyasji gives him this divine vision. And therefore Sanjay is saying, how blessed I am that I got this opportunity to listen to this divine talk between the Lord and the Arjuna. Where are we? ऐसे सावळेनी परब्रह्मे भक्त काम कल्पद्रुमे बोलिले आत्मा रामे संजयो म्हणे अहो एकी जत असे की अवधारा तव इया बोला निवांत म्हातारा जैसा म्हैसा नुठी कापुरा तैसा उगाची असे तेथ संजय माथा तुकिला आहा अमृताचा पाऊस वर्षला की हा येत अस्तुची केला सेजिया गावा तरही दातारू हा आमुचा म्हणूनी हे बोलता मळेल वाचा काय की जे याचा स्वभावोची ऐसा परी बाप भाग्य माझे जे वृत्तांतू सांगा वयाचे निव्याजे कैसा रक्षिलो मुनिराजे Shri Vyasadeve. This is what he said, that I feel very blessed that Vyas Muni, the Rishi Vyas, sage Vyas, has given me this divine vision, because of which I am able to see this divine dialogue taking place. Ye tule he vaad sayase zav bolat ase dhrudhe manase tav na dharveci apulya aise सात्विके केले चित्तचा काटले आटू दियेत घेत वाचा पांगुळली जेथीची तेथ आपाद कंचुकित रोमांच आले अधोन्मिलित डोळे वर्षताती आनंद जळे आंतुलिया सुखोर्मीचेनी वळे बाहेरी कांपे पै आघवाची रोममूळी आली स्वेद कणिका निर्मळी लेईला मोतियांची काडियाळी आवडे तैसा ऐसा महासुखाचेनी अतिरसे जेथ आठणी हो पाहे जीव दे दशे तेथ निरोपिले व्यासे ते नेदीच हो. He says, when he was brooding thus in his mind, he could not control the 8 emotional states which surged in his mind. His mind, which was immersed in the conversation, became steady. His speech stopped at that very spot, and his body was thrilled from top to toe. Tears of joy began to flow from his half-shut eyes, and he felt tremors in his body arising out of inner joy. As spotless drops of sweat flowed from his pores, he looked as if he was wearing a necklace of pearls. He lost his body consciousness in this flood of great joy, and it became impossible for him to discharge the task entrusted to him by the sage Vyasa, to whom, this is the narrator, to the blind king Sanjaya. He is experiencing the divine bliss. आणिक श्री कृष्णाचे बोलणे घोंकरी आले श्रवणे की देह स्मृतीचा तेणे वापसा केला तेव्हा नेत्रीचे जळ विसर्जी सर्वागीचा स्वेदु परिमार्जी देवीची अवधान म्हणे होजी धृतराष्ट्राते आता श्री कृष्ण वाक्य बीजा निवाडू आणि संजय सात्विकाचा बिवडू म्हणूनी श्रोतया होईल सुरवाडू प्रेमय पिकाचा अहो अळूमाळू अवधान दयावे ये तुलेनी आनंदाचे राशीवरी बैसावे बाप श्रवणेंद्रिया दैवे घातली माळ म्हणूनी विभूतीचा ठावो अर्जुना दावील सिद्धांचा रावो तो एका म्हणे ज्ञान देवो निवृत्तीचा. He says, Jnaneshwar Maharaj says, but just then the ringing voice of Lord Krishna entered his ears and he came to his senses. Then he wiped off his tears and sweat and spoke to Dhritarashtra, O king, listen. Now the seed of Lord Krishna's speech was fertilized by the pure emotional states of Sanjaya, and so the hearers will receive a harvest of philosophical truths. If you give the scantiest attention to this conversation, you will become overjoyed, for fortune has become favorable to the organs of hearing today. And so Krishna, the Lord of all perfected beings, will relate the manifestation of God. Jnanadeva, the disciple of Nrityanath, says, now listen to that story. When do we, a bhajan is going on, it goes on so many times. You listen to it on CD, you listen to it, people singing in a gathering. But when does it make an impact on you? You are listening to it. He was also listening to the conversation that was going on in the mind, because he had the divine vision. So the conversation on the battlefield is going on in he's seeing the picture in his mind, and the whole speech is going on in the mind, the Bhagavad Gita. But when did it make an impact on him? It took Sanjaya 9 chapters. It took Sanjaya 9 chapters to realize the greatness of the Lord. And the moment he realized the greatness, all the symptoms that they showed, isn't it? Now, after you have realized the greatness, or you are sitting in meditation and you have your mind has merged into the divine, you are listening to a bhajan and an ecstasy takes over you. After that you cannot be the same. Then your conversation with whomever you are speaking, it will be of a different quality. It will be of a different texture, isn't it? Because now, even a bhajan, a person who is singing bhajan, he is singing the bhajan, and if it clicks to him while singing, suddenly there is a tremor in his singing. Tears are flowing. Then the quality of that bhajan that singer is singing is different than before. There are many professional singers who sing. We hear so many. But when you hear Ramdas, for example, it comes out of devotion. You know he is abandoning himself to those words. See, they take over. See, that's what is happening to our Sanjaya. See, and with this, iti Shri Jnanadeva Virachitayam Bhavartha Deepikayam Navamodhyayaha. With this we conclude the 9th chapter, and this will give rise to the Vibhuti Yoga. What is Vibhuti Yoga? Vibhuti is the expression of the energy of the divine. The whole creation, the whole cosmos is the Vibhuti of the Lord. Understand? The whole cosmos is the Vibhuti of the Lord. Is the energy other than the Lord? Is the Shakti other than the Lord? No. He invoked his own power, his own potentiality, and we call that potentiality Shakti. That Shakti becomes the entire cosmos of all variety. Because Shakti has become the cosmos with all variety, has Shakti become other than the Lord? Because what is her source? The Lord. Is she other than the Lord? No. That means the Lord is pervading in and through the entire cosmos. But what happens one thing? When the milk becomes the curd, the milk vanishes. When the gold becomes the ornament, our attention is not on the gold but it is on the form, isn't it? When the water becomes ice, our attention is not on H2O, it is on the form of the ice cube. When the mud becomes the pot, our attention is not on the mud, it is on the shape of the pot and its utility value, isn't it? Similarly, when the Lord becomes the entire, as if becomes the entire universe with multifaceted forms, we forget the Lord. Mud becomes the pot. We focus on the pot, we forget the mud. The Lord becomes the universe, we focus on the universe, we forget the Lord. Can the pot come without the mud? Mud, the pot is the effect, mud is the cause. When cause expresses as the effect called the pot, the cause vanishes, isn't it? Now only the effect is seen. Similarly, when the Lord expresses as the entire creation, He is the cause, creation is the effect. The cause vanishes. And that is what our experience is. We are searching for Him everywhere. But how do we search? If everything is the Lord, how do I focus my mind? If everything is the Vibhuti, it's too much variety. I can't focus my mind. I'm running after the world everywhere for everything. Now to address that, how this whole creation is the Vibhuti and how through this creation we can come back to the cause, the divine, to the Lord, that is going to be told in the 10th chapter. And therefore it is called the Vibhuti Yoga. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.